Statesmen Nation. I'm Wade Steinluggy, Sports Information Director here at William Penn, and you are inside the Playbook. This week is our holiday special, hence the funny sweatshirt. Hoping that you enjoy our show, but before we get into all the holiday goodies, we have a Zoom video later. We'll recap last week's games and also preview what's coming up for the Statesmen. So first off, last week, men's basketball team continuing its undefeated season. The Statesmen defeated Graceland 95-74 last Saturday, and also defeated Peru State 105-81 on Tuesday. The women's basketball team, after a slow start, has reeled off 4 in a row, including 3 this past week, defeating Missouri Valley 74-52 last Tuesday, beating Graceland 87-74 last Saturday, and then just 2 days ago, the team took down Peru State 101-68 on Tuesday. That was the first time the team has eclipsed a century mark since the 2011-12 season. Also in action last week, the men's wrestling team had a couple of duels, went up to Northwestern in Orange City last Tuesday or before Thanksgiving, and fell 30-27 in its season opener, and then just last night took down Baker 27-26 in Heart of America Athletic Conference action, the first ever dual victory over Baker in 7 tries for the Statesmen. Upcoming this week, same 3 teams will be in action, but also the women's wrestling team will finally get going here in its inaugural season. So first off, men's basketball at Clark on Saturday. Then we'll be hosting Mount Mercy here in Penn Gymnasium next Monday. And then on next Thursday, they will return back up to Cedar Rapids to take on Mount Mercy. So just in a matter of 3 days, the teams will have played 4 days. Excuse me. The teams will have played twice, Mount Mercy and William Penn. As for the women, they play Clark also up in Dubuque on Saturday, and then next Thursday they will be at Cedar Rapids as well. Their home game against Mount Mercy will be later on this month. Men's wrestling will be at the Missouri Valley Duels on Saturday and Sunday. And finally, as aforementioned, the women's wrestling team will finally get going this year, hosting Indian Hills Community College next Wednesday in the first ever duel in the pack. So definitely make it out for that. Limited seating, obviously, so don't miss out on an opportunity to see history, as women's wrestling team will start its inaugural season next Wednesday, Indian Hills in the pack, 7 p.m. start. So that's what we've got coming up this next week and what we had last week. Again, when we come back, we'll have a fun Zoom video with a few of our athletic communication staff, as well as a few students and a faculty member as well. So hopefully you enjoy it, and happy holidays. Go Statesmen. You're inside the Playbook. Hi, Statesmen Nation. Welcome to the second segment of today's Inside the Playbook. This is our holiday special, our second annual holiday special as part of the Inside the Playbook. Joining me are just a great group of individuals that are going to bring some cool stories about their holiday traditions, etc. So just go from top left all the way down to bottom right. Brandon Talmoe Folao, sorry. Oh, I was so close. Almost got it right. Brandon's a senior football player, 5th-year senior, currently from Cleveland, Ohio, via also Salt Lake City, Utah. So that's Brandon. I'm here top middle. Tia Chun is a freshman women's wrestler out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. Laura Bernstein is an adjunct professor. And Laura, I didn't know to ask, what are you teaching for us?
Organizational behavior, global leadership, systems, succession development.
Okay, whole bunch of kind of business-y type classes, right? And some
in
math
the MBL
classes.
program.
Yeah, no,
mostly in the MBL program.
Okay, very cool. Laura is down in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. Justin Burtis, one of my graduate assistants, he's in the bottom middle. He is out of Huntington Beach, California, and then bottom right is Brian Schlosser, another of my GAs, and he's also from Huntington Beach, California. So thank all you guys for joining us for a few minutes. When we, sorry, Coach Friesen's in here. I will call you. Yes. Okay. Nothing like a Zoom meeting not being interrupted by a coach. Why not? So he wasn't walking away. I had to talk to him. All right. So we're going to get right into it. As I mentioned to Laura off camera, she brings a different perspective than everybody else. The other five of us are going to be talking a lot about Christmas, but Laura is of the Jewish faith, so she's going to be talking about Hanukkah. We're just going to give it right over to you, Laura, and you can talk a little bit about what you guys, what your family does around Hanukkah. She actually is going to steal the screen for a little bit and have a little show and tell, so to speak. So, Laura, take it away for a little bit.
All righty, give me just a second here. Bring up my screen. And hopefully you can see that.
We can. There you go.
All right, excellent. So I wanted to just share a couple of pictures with you as we were talking. So for those of you who are not familiar with the holiday, the word Hanukkah actually means dedication. Okay. And very famous story in our Talmud where the Maccabees had taken back the temple from a very mean king, King Antiochus. And at that time, the holy space was pretty much ruined. And so there was a rededication ceremony, and that's why Hanukkah means dedication. At that time, the oil that was there to light what we now call a Hanukkah, our menorah, it was only enough oil to last for one day, but it miraculously lasted for 8. And that is actually the amount of time it took to get more oil. So that's why our holiday is for 8 days. And with my family, we light our Hanukkah each night. You light one candle the first night, and then on the second night you light 2, and then 3, etc. All Jewish holidays start on the evening before the actual first day. So you're always lighting that first candle on the first night. And because of the oil, all of the traditional foods are fried. So 2 of the most famous foods that you've probably heard of, one would be potato latkes, which is in the picture that you can see. And then the other is something called sufganiyot, which is like a breaded fried dough. Cool. The other thing you've probably heard of is playing a game called dreidel. And there's 4 letters. You spin a top, and it lands on a particular letter that means something, like put a token in, take a token out, like a gambling thing almost. And the letters stand for the words Nes Gadol Hayasham, which means a great miracle happened there.
Oh, cool. Very awesome. Okay, cool. Well, thank you.
We celebrate 8 days.
Yes, yeah, 8. Obviously, you throw it into popular culture or whatever, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people know the movie 8 Crazy Nights. I mean, that's my background of Hanukkah. 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler. So
in our family, we get presents each night. It's sure. A lot of fun.
yeah, definitely. It's a little bit different. I'm sure there's a lot of people that celebrate Christmas are like, man, I'm sure my kids are like, man, why can't we have Hanukkah? They get 8 days of presents. That's so much cooler. So.
Well, you get all your presents on one day.
Yes, exactly. Right, for sure. Okay, well, Laura, I'll come back to you again in a little bit, but Brandon, you have a Polynesian background as well as a Hungarian background, you said. So talk about a little bit of your guys' holiday traditions. You said there's some different stuff than normally you think of around Christmas time. So
yeah, especially with my Hungarian side, with my mom being both half Hungarian, half Samoan, but she grew up in New Jersey, so she knows mostly the European side and tradition. So especially coming up this Sunday, which is Mikuláš Day, which is like the 5th day before St. Nicholas Day, so it's just like the Hungarian version of Santa Claus.
Okay.
So what you do is like put shoes out, and then St. Nick or Mikuláš will come out and put like treats in there for all the good kids. But for the bad kids, like there's another character named Krampus, or Krampus is however you pronounce it. Depends on the person. And he leaves like coal and like little like lashings as a warning for the bad kids to, act right before the actual like big day for Christmas. So it's kind of fun, just to leave shoes out, and then my mom filling them with like goodies and stuff. And then
If you're
for
good
my,
assuming, right? I mean,
I mean, hopefully I don't want to hear too much to not get anything. And for the Polynesian side, it's kind of different, like what we eat on tradition on Christmas, so like turkey and stuff. But for us, it's usually like baked mussels, taro, and boiled bananas, like soaked in coconut milk, and sapusui, which is like the Tongan version of chop suey. So for me, the holidays is like a special time to appreciate like my cultural background and like just enjoy who I am and like and my family members and yeah.
for sure. All right, very cool. Thank you, thank you. Tia, you said you guys don't do anything really weird, but I'm sure you guys probably do something that is very special to you at least. So talk about your holiday traditions a little bit.
Well, for one thing, we decorate for Christmas like either the day before Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving. That's when we start Christmas decorations. The little kids, they're allowed to help with like small stuff on the Christmas tree, but the Christmas tree is like for the older people to do, like well, not my grandma anymore, but like the adults for them to do. And usually we have each of our family members, we have like a separate Christmas, and then we all gather at one house for like dinner and like games. We always are playing games, like
Sure.
no matter the holiday or occasion.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, 2020. And you're gone too. So I'm going to say that is the family waiting for you to come home before they're decorating, or did they decorate way early because it's 2020 and they're all cares to the wind?
I actually got to go home for Thanksgiving, so
Cool.
the day after I got to help put up some lights and stuff. So
Good. Got to keep the tradition alive then. Very cool.
yeah.
Okay. Laura, I'm going to actually bring it back to you before I get to Justin and Brian, but talking about decorating, I know you said you guys just moved into your house. You don't really have the decorations up, but what's decorating look like for Hanukkah?
So decorating for Hanukkah is not nearly as extravagant and fun as it is for Christmas. Some people do put on some lights, white and blue,
Sure.
and some signs that say Happy Hanukkah, but there really isn't a lot of decoration for Hanukkah.
Yeah, gotcha. Again, throwing pop culture out here because I know nothing else. The Goldbergs, I remember there was an episode some couple seasons ago or whatever, and Brian just laughed. I don't even not sure if he even knows what I'm talking about here, but anyhow, they Jewish family, but they were all mad about that their neighbors were just huge Christmas family, did all these decorations, whatever. So she wanted to do it the same way, but do it Jewish style. So and just blew it up and blue and white everywhere. But it was kind of cool.
Yep.
But anyway.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see these huge, larger than life dreidels or Hanukkahs in someone's yard or driving down the street, but it's rare.
Yeah. So very cool. Well, that's what I would be if I was Jewish. So I'd be all about the big decoration. So, all right, Mr. Burtis, let's talk about the holidays in the Burtis household. And you actually have some Iowa background here, but in Huntington Beach, California, what do you guys normally do?
Well, it normally involves enjoying a bit of sun because unlike here in Iowa, we don't get seasons. So
it's sunny today.
There's sun. There was one Christmas I remember we woke up and it was like 80 degrees. So it's different because the traditional like, oh, snow and cold, you don't really get that most of the time, but nothing super special in our family, but we put up a lot of decorations. Me and my dad have quite the love of lights, and if we had all the money to put into our electric bill in the world, we would certainly go as much stringing stuff up as we could possibly do. I will admit our favorite little tradition that we have is we get every year a couple ornaments from the Hallmark store that are sci-fi related, and they all plug in and they all make little noises and light up and stuff, and it's my little pride and joy. I love decorating that thing every year. And really the only other thing is just stockings and kind of a cinnamon rolls in the morning, Christmas morning. That's always a winner. And that's about it. We're a small family, so not any big traditions or anything else like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Brian Schlosser, same thing. You're Huntington Beach, so you guys. Yes, it's always warm. I'm sure you've hopefully. Yeah, I obviously you spent some time in the snow or whatever, but more times than not, you're probably looking at a 70-degree Christmas day. But what are the traditions in the Schlosser household?
I mean, yeah, like you're saying, Justin has at least had one Iowa winter under his belt. This is number one for me. So it's probably the first time that I've ever experienced anything under 40 degrees before. But I'll hit you with another pop culture reference. My dad is a big fan of A Christmas Story.
Nice.
So one of the things that goes on in our household is that every year, the day after Thanksgiving, he's got the big, like, life-size leg lamp.
Nice.
And he puts it in the window for the whole neighborhood to see, lights it up as soon as the sun goes down, and that stays up in our house until New Year's Day.
Awesome.
Unfortunately for me is that my bedroom has the clearest view of the window in the neighborhood, so that resides in my room for that month and a half time, which of course I'm not there to have it distract me or bother me this time. If my dad sees this, he would be mad at me right now, but that's our biggest like household tradition. As for everything else, for the rest of my dad's side of the family, we all get together on Christmas Eve, is like when we have our big Christmas gathering. And basically it's just like, as like our family has gotten bigger over the few years through like marriages and other things, we've gone to like an alternate Secret Santa type thing where we'll get like 3 names across the family, and then we just effectively we'll go to church on the morning of Christmas Eve, and then we will just head over to my grandpa's house at like maybe 2:00, and we'll open presents literally till about 10.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite day of the year, just because if there was any way for me to describe my family, it would just be an hour of just sitting there watching everybody scream at each other. It's really hectic, but like in a good way. So
Right.
it's always my favorite day of the year.
Sure. Well, it's family, man. Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chatter, right.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, speaking of presents and other traditions, etc., is there a certain day that is more, maybe not memorable, important? Maybe especially if you're a family that you guys do anything differently on a certain day. I would assume the 8th day, obviously, all comes to the culmination of it. But I guess both that as well as far as presents go, does everybody pick names, or how do you guys do that?
Yeah, so in terms of whether one day is more important than another, not really. I would say probably the first evening, that first night, that's probably the most special,
Sure.
Just because it's sort of the beginning of the holiday, and it's one more year and you're celebrating the same new holiday. So I think that's probably the most special.
Yep.
The last day is sort of that culmination, as you said. In my family, with my daughter, we typically do small gifts each day, sort of leading up to a larger gift.
Mm-hmm.
And it's become commercialized, just like other holiday gift giving has, because it's really not really about the gifts themselves, but
Yep.
There is a tradition where you give some money, small amounts of money,
Yep.
and that's kind of a fun little thing. And the tradition of playing the game, and we have our own little spin on the game.
Yep.
We do that, and there's some songs that we sing as a family, and that's kind of fun.
Sure. Very cool. Okay. All right. Best holiday memory. So I know I'm kind of throwing these things that maybe I should have preempted you guys a little bit here. Justin's already thinking. So, but I'm going to go just top left, bottom right. Best holiday memory that you have, Brandon.
Best holiday memory. I would say, like, especially for the holidays, it's important because around Christmas Eve is when my grandmother died, and so I said just the memory, just like for each Christmas Eve we would like do something to commemorate her,
Right.
and I would say like each Christmas and Christmas Eve, like I say it's probably like my most favorite part
Sure.
of Christmas Eve, because I didn't really get to know her
Mm-hmm.
as much as I would love to, but I would say that would be my fondest memory during the holidays.
Cool. Okay. Tia, what's your favorite holiday memory?
My favorite holiday memory is like an old memory
Okay.
of past holiday a long time ago, where my family, like, we slept the night in one house, and we woke up, had Christmas breakfast, and all of us just opened our presents on Christmas in that one day. It's my favorite.
Yeah, awesome. Laura.
So I think I'll go back to my childhood,
Sure.
and I have a very large family, and all holidays we would get together. Hanukkah is not considered one of the major Jewish holidays. It's actually a minor holiday.
Okay.
But using Hanukkah as my example, there was a time when I was younger where we had a 3.5-hour game of dreidel. We kept it going that long. You know, usually they're 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes at most.
Yeah.
But it was a 3.5-hour game, and we used pistachios instead of like money, and it was fun. So
Yeah.
that would probably be it. Grandmother, grandfather, everybody was there.
Yeah, awesome. Justin.
There's a couple, but just kind of for recency bias, a couple years ago, my friend was doing a teach abroad program in Morocco, and he reached out and said, "Hey, I just bought a cheap plane ticket to Portugal. You want to come meet me?" And so I met him, and we had about a 2-week trip, but we spent Christmas in Lisbon, which was fun, walking around, spending Christmas in a different country. We didn't do a whole ton, especially because we're not fluent Portuguese speakers, so it's not like we could have gone to church or something and totally been immersed. But it was fun walking around, and one of the funny, there was a cool church that played their bell tower. I think they had it on speakers, but they played a Christmas carol through that, which was pretty cool. We ended up walking to one of the older churches just for like 10 minutes at the end of one of their services, kind of on a whim. And the guy was talking in Portuguese, and then he saw that there's a bunch of tourists, and he kind of looks up and in broken English goes, "And a Merry Christmas to all." And it was kind of like, yay, Christmas, everyone. So that was kind of a fun time.
Yeah, awesome. Brian.
I'm not sure if I have like a specific one, but every year we will go to like the early morning service for the Christmas Eve service. So like we'll go at like 9 a.m. and then just have a little whatever for lunch, like a little light lunch, and then I always get to my grandparents as soon as I can, because then my cousins are all there, and we'll have like 4 or 5 hours where me and my cousins, when we hang out, like we just play board games a lot.
Sure.
My cousin will get like a bunch of different board games off of Amazon for us to try like every year. So we'll just go through them, see which ones we like, see which ones we don't like. Even the ones we like, we usually don't play a second time because there's so many of them. But
yeah,
we'll have like 4 or 5 hours where we just play board games. Then sometimes family will get involved and we'll play other things. So I just like that every year.
Cool, very cool, awesome. Realize we've been on for a while already, so I'm gonna kind of jump ahead a couple things here. I've got a 6-pack of the debate questions, so hopefully some of these apply to you, Laura. So we'll see how this works out for everybody. But anyhow, first question: when is too early to decorate for Christmas or for the holidays, or to listen to music? So I personally, I could go all year round. Honestly, I could have a tree up all year. It wouldn't bother me one bit. Definitely, I'm listening to Christmas music in July. So again, I'm probably the wrong person to ask on this, but what do you guys think? What's too early to listen to music, and when is too early to decorate?
Are we just saying it at random?
Yeah, whoever wants to.
I feel like too early for like decorations and Christmas music is like in October.
Okay.
Like when November 1st starts, that's when you can start like Christmas stuff. Okay.
So on Thanksgiving, you can chop away Thanksgiving, but don't touch Halloween, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Thanksgiving it's always going to be, it's always going to happen.
Yeah.
I like letting Thanksgiving have its time.
Yeah.
I think the day after Thanksgiving, go ahead, but
yep.
I mean, you got to give it its time. You can't jump the gun too early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
Laura,
like
is
to do
there?
one holiday at a time.
Yeah, okay. I was like, is there
One
a
holiday
thing
at
for
a time.
Hanukkah? I mean, you said it's actually a lesser holiday for you guys of your faith, but I mean, is it just starting on
It
day
starts the
one?
evening of. That's when we
Okay,
start.
okay,
Period.
all right, very cool. Okay, all right. So we're gonna get some division here because we have people from mostly warm areas, but Brandon and I can talk more on the northern side, I guess. But best way to celebrate the holidays: hot on a beach or cold in the mountains?
Go cold.
Of course, in some Rocky
I've
Mountains.
never been in the mountains, but I would say cold.
Okay.
Out
Huntington
on the
Beach.
beach.
Yeah, you want the beach?
Out on
Okay.
the beach.
I mean, I
Just
prefer.
for the effect of Christmas and stuff, better it would be snow, and I think it's prettier. But I mean, California's Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
Hard to beat that.
Right.
Honestly, I prefer to stay inside either way. Like I agree with Justin. I like the snow, like the little Christmas ambiance, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be out in it necessarily.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Would you rather, and this is probably dumb because I asked it last year and I knew what the answer was going to be, but we'll do it anyhow. Would you rather give or receive presents?
Give.
Give.
Okay. Guys can be honest. And like, it's okay if you want to say, I really, really like getting presents.
I prefer giving.
Okay.
I mean, getting presents is nice, but there's nothing, you give someone and then you see the joy. I think that's the best part of the holiday.
Or receiving a gift from someone that like they made it. Like I love the
Right.
gifts that like my daughter has given me where she's made them or she's re-gifted, like her toothbrush or something, something silly.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, we have a very mature group, which I fully assumed that would be the answer. But yeah, I mean, I'm the same. It probably took me a long time to realize that. I don't think I was like, oh, just give me more and more presents, and I wasn't trying to be greedy. But I mean, as a kid, you always, you love getting presents. It's still fun as an adult to open, unwrap a gift or whatever from a loved one. But as a parent now, I'm really appreciating seeing my kids' eyes light up when they open their presents. So, so that's pretty cool. All right. I don't think that Jewish people drink eggnog. So, Laura, you're probably out on this one. But eggnog, yes or no? Do you like it or no?
When I drank it, when I was younger, I liked it. Then I got older and I stopped liking it. And I'm a vegan now, so I don't like it.
Yeah. So not so much.
Yeah. So I'll do a myth buster for you. So eggnog doesn't have any significance in the Jewish tradition,
Okay.
but and I personally don't like eggnog. I have tried it, but my husband, who is also Jewish, loves it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Like I said, I didn't realize it, so there's a little connection. Okay. All right, guys, eggnog, yes or no?
Anderson Erickson cinnamon shortbread eggnog, yes.
Ooh, specific taste there. That's why you work at Smoky Row.
I have actually never tried it.
Oh.
So
Right.
I guess by default for now it's a no.
I was gonna say Smoky Row's got a eggnog latte, right?
They do.
Yeah. Well,
They
you
do.
have to
I got eggnog a couple things.
employee discount. Okay, Brandon.
I just started on the eggnog game. So far, I like it, so
Yeah.
I would say yes.
I'm a fan. If it's a little, I mean, if it's by itself, it's a little thick. I actually lighten mine up a little bit with just some milk. But yeah, I'm a fan. So okay. All right. Last question. Best holiday treat. So Laura, we'll start you off. What's the best thing at Hanukkah to eat?
Anything fried,
Okay. It's all good.
all good.
Okay. Very cool. All right, Tia.
My favorite thing is the baked mac and cheese.
Ooh. Okay. Brian.
I'm a big chocolate covered strawberries guy.
Okay.
Mm.
Justin.
So many good foods. I love food, so it's hard to pick. However, the traditional thing that the Burtis family does around Christmas time is get a lot of Oreos. We go to a special cake decorating store that my mom has gone to forever, buy specific melting chocolate and dip the Oreos in the chocolate. And then I indulge them for like months because I'm good at rationing them.
Very good. Okay, Brandon, you guys said you could do a lot of seafood, so is that your favorite part, or?
Actually, no. My favorite part, especially around the holidays, is the little like those like sugar cookies,
All right.
one with the little designs on it. So that's what my guilty pleasure that I like to get every year,
Very cool.
or I have to get.
Okay. Well, I agree with Justin, and same thing with Laura. I mean, the food at holidays, it's all good. I mean, there's no such thing as a bad holiday treat, I think. So that's why everybody gains the 15, 20 pounds or whatever during the holidays. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. I'd love to be able to talk longer. Last year we went an hour, and I'm sure people checked out about 5 minutes in. So hopefully they hung around for the whole time this round. But again, thank you all so much for your time. Happy holidays to everyone. Laura, happy Hanukkah. Everybody else, and enjoy your break. And I guess we'll see you all in January. So thank you guys, and Statesman Nation, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thanks.
Thank you.